Well, hello, Chris.
Hello, Robert.
How are you? We are, I hate to be like doing the same thing all the time, but I'm just going to say welcome to the It's in Queens podcast.
Oh, thank you for welcoming
We're
me.
covering events in the world's most diverse borough.
That is true. We'll say that every time.
Between September 28th and October 2nd.
Okay.
It's an interesting week.
Mm-hmm.
Should we just get right into it?
You know what I like to say? I like to say we're ending September and getting into Rocktober.
Okay. All right. Now can I go to...
No,
now that we've altered our intro.
That's right.
Or should I say improved our intro? Or
We rocked the intro this week. I'm going to put that in the Radio Broadcast Hall of Fame.
I have the big event of this week is that the world's largest display of Lego art is coming to Queens.
Largest display of Lego.
Call Guinness Book of World Records.
This weekend.
It's called The Art of the Brick. It's actually kind of interesting. It's one of those like leave the rat race stories. There was a guy who was in New York. He was a corporate lawyer. He was doing the high-powered stuff, and he's like, I can't stand this. I'm just going to go around making huge sculptures with Lego.
I tried the same thing.
So he's coming. He's coming to New York Hall of Science, and the exhibition will be there September 28th to January 26th of next year.
Ooh.
And there are going to be all kinds of huge. It's art, architecture, big human bodies, cars, et cetera, et cetera. And they're going to be drag races, and they're going to be hands-on activities the whole time. So it's a time it's a time for all those kids who just love. Some kids love to build.
Yeah. It gets that engineer gene rolling.
Some of those kids, I remember when I was a kid, there were kids that played sports all day, and then there were kids that built stuff with Legos all day.
Legos and erector sets.
And erector sets, yeah. And then my cousin had a...
Lincoln Logs.
Oh, interesting. No, he had a...
Sorry, I was trying to...
He had one of those mini train things.
Lionel train.
A train.
Lionel trains. Model trains.
In his basement. He grew up in the suburbs. So.
Okay. Suburb people have much more space.
Yeah.
You could have a mini train set.
No, you couldn't.
Queens
it would have to be really mini.
Yeah. It'd have one car and go in a circle.
But anyway, that's kind of fun. If you get a chance to go on our website, look at some of the photos of these huge Lego pieces. There. Because there's an art to it. In some cases, there's like
are you kidding me?
A human being like in water splashing that he makes with Legos and stuff like that. So it's fun.
You got to be good at that stuff.
Nathan Zawaya.
Nice.
He left the rat race to go into the Lego building.
I'd love to leave the rat race. I just don't know where to go.
Too bad this guy took your idea.
The Lego. Yeah, he took the Lego idea.
Those of us who love history, there's a Civil War reenactment and at Fort Totten out in Bayside, actually at the Bayside Historical Society, where the
Civil War battle actually took place there, right?
the Officers Club is at Bayside Historical Society. This is the reenactment people do Company K of the 67th New York Infantry. That was formed from Brooklyn, but it took people all the way out to Long Island. I looked it up. Started in 1861, so they saw a lot of different battles, some of the big ones.
A lot of action.
But these guys, the whole idea is living history.
Okay.
So it's 6 hours. You get out there and you find out how they lived, what they ate or what they didn't eat, and all that kind of stuff. Because the Civil War, that was one hell of a war, man.
That was tough times.
People these days don't understand how much those guys suffered.
Oh, yeah, well, anybody.
I remember going to the Gettysburg once, and they tell you that, what happened was all these people were dying, and they all died of gangrene and dysentery after the battle because they'd been stabbed. So just imagine a battlefield with all these people lying around, just sort of bleeding.
The only way to escape is to not get touched at all, which was practically impossible.
Which was hard. You could do that nowadays with video games, but you can't do it. You couldn't do it back then.
No way.
Anyway, that's going on Sunday, 6 hours. Out at the Bayside Historical Society, which is a formal officers club, actually.
Right?
Yeah,
Fort Totten?
Fort Totten. Well, the Bayside Historical Society is the former officers club in
Fort Totten.
Yeah, Fort Totten.
Yeah.
There's a new play coming to Thalia Spanish Theater.
Oh,
it's in Spanish, but now they have these super titles. Plays you used to, if you went to like a Spanish play, you'd listen to a simultaneous translation, but now they have these super titles.
Oh, like subtitles, but
they're there
in real life.
They're in the stage. Yeah. Anyway, a new play is coming. It's called La Golondrina, and it sounds like it's very emotional, very sad. La Golondrina is kind of a famous song. Golondrina is a swallow, those little birds.
Oh, okay.
And it's about a swallow leaving away, never coming back from home.
That's what I'm already said.
It was written by a Mexican guy, but it's taken from an Arabic poem because when the Moors were kicked out of Spain.
Did a lot of traveling.
So it's about being exiled and losing your place and your loved ones, and the play is about a female vocal teacher, a voice teacher.
Sure.
And a guy hires her because he wants to sing La Golondrina at his mother's funeral. His mother just died, and it turns out that the teacher. I think she lost a son during the Pulse, during the terror attack in Orlando, Florida, on the Pulse nightclub.
Oh my!
So she starts so the two of them. This guy's lost his mother. The song is making the teacher think of her son.
Sure.
And apparently it's a powerful, very powerful play with obviously La Golondrina is a beautiful song. A lot of the different Spanish singers have done their versions. And stuff. So it sounds like a very emotional, powerful play. It's running from September 27th to October 13th on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays
at
Thalia Spanish Theater, Greenpoint Avenue. Okay. So when you think of Oktoberfest, what do you think of?
German beer.
Really?
Yeah.
What if you were doing Oktoberfest in Flushing?
Ooh.
In a former German historic house?
Right.
What would you serve?
Oh, give me some pretzels.
Pretzels?
Give me some, the big ones. Not talking about nuggets here.
Talking about big German, Bavarian.
Big Bavarian pretzels, and give me some Wurst.
And some Wurst?
Some knockwurst, some bratwurst, give me something.
Well, the Voelker Oerth Museum, which is a historical house that we've talked about before, it's doing an Oktoberfest. They're doing it on September 28th. I don't know why all these Oktoberfest people start in September.
Well, you have to, you
got to get a start. Yeah. Anyway, they're doing it modern Flushing style. The house is in Flushing, so they're going to be serving sauerkraut and German wursts along with kimchi.
Well, sauerkraut and kimchi are
same
family.
Exactly. Well, it's both cabbage. Yeah,
that's
sauerkraut.
Right.
It's cabbage and cabbage. You want your old German cabbage, or you want your Korean cabbage? It's right there. We also have a couple of other interesting things. A tour of Astoria, where you go and you see all the haunted areas. And apparently, it's
one of the ghost of my 20s is there.
The ghost of your 20s? Well, it kind of coincides with another thing at the Maple Grove Cemetery, where they are hiring 20 actors to act out people who were buried in the cemetery, and you can go to the cemetery and take a tour while all the actors in costume come out acting as the actual people who were buried there, the permanent residents.
Right.
People
dying to get in there.
It's kind of a skip. People are dying to get in there.
Yeah.
Anyway, both of those events, the one at the Maple Grove Cemetery is on September 28th. The Haunted History of Astoria is September 29th. And I should probably remind people that Astoria's past includes tragic Hollywood film stars.
That's right.
All kinds of voodoo.
Right.
There are Potterfields where there are on people buried.
There were.
Grizzly murderers.
Ooh.
Poltergeists and other kinds of spirits.
Okay.
Hidden treasures
from
the Hell's Gate Bridge.
Right.
And, of course, Deadly Waters.
Oh, that's where
so there is so much going on out there.
Where
the different ships ran ashore. Yep. So you got all that to worry about while you're
I'm already worried. I'm scared already.
Yeah? All right. Don't go on that tour if you're going to have problems sleeping afterwards.
I'm going to have problems sleeping after this podcast.
Okay. Along those lines, we have a Queen's Storytellers event at Queen's Theater. Different people who are involved in different storytelling open mic nights in Queens will be together for one big event.
Okay.
That includes someone from The Moth, if you know NPR's storytelling, someone from QED, and someone from the Equatorian American Cultural Center.
Nice.
That's on September 28th.
QED has a lot of those events.
Yep, they have a lot of those. QED Astoria. You talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
I also wanted to say that this actually doesn't necessarily start in Queens, but it ends in Queens. There's a big Cycle to City Field event this weekend. where
we want to be
guided
tours. You want to be at the end of that.
Right. Yeah. Guided bike tours to Citi Field, and then watch a baseball game with all the other bicyclists. They're leaving from Union Square in Manhattan, Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn, and Alley Pond Park in Queens.
Oh, the Alley Pond Park's going to be the easy one.
That's going to be the easy one. The idea, they want to show off Queens' new bike lanes. I don't know I'm not going to get into politics, whether you like bike lanes or not.
I'm not here to tell you
whether you
want to
learn about them.
There's certainly a lot more than there were.
There are a lot more than there were before. There's a lot more traffic, too. But, hey, we're not going to get into politics. It's a lot harder for the fire engines to get by and save people's life in a fire. But, hey, we're not going to get into politics.
Some people say that.
Anyway, that's enough for me.
That's too much, actually.
It's too much, actually. Let's.
A little less you.
I think it's time. I think it's time we did some dancing. Yeah. One thing that we didn't mention.
Can I go and change into my dancing shoes?
Yes, please change and put on your dancing shoes.
All right.
We haven't talked about a few dancing events, but there are some big ones coming up. So why don't we take a break? You guys can blink. Come back and we'll discuss. Yes, through the magic of editing, we will be able to discuss some of the dance events with one of Queens' most prolific dancers.
Ooh.
All right, so stay with us. We're back, and
just like that,
we got an upgrade.
Yeah, major visual upgrade.
Major visual upgrade. Karesia Batan is with us. Karesia, welcome.
Hello. It's Karesia, but it's okay.
Karesia, not Karesia.
Karesia, like there's an invisible H. But it's okay.
Karesia. I've been taught whenever I mention you, it's always Karesia.
Well, so it's always been wrong.
It depends. It depends on who you're speaking to, because sometimes if I'm meeting someone, because in Spanish it's pronounced Karesia, so I've just kind of learned to respond to different versions of my name depending on what culture I'm.
Okay.
Well,
Karesia Batan, who's actually Filipino, not Hispanic, is here. She runs the Queensboro Dance Festival.
Hardest working woman in dance.
The hardest working woman in dance in the borough and the rest of the outer boroughs.
We're the world's borough, so it's fittingly
in the world. Yeah. She's the hardest working dancer in the world's borough.
I bring all the hardworking dancers together.
Yeah.
There you go.
We've actually talked about her events on this show a couple of times.
Sure.
You have a couple remaining. You've had a huge summer where you've been dancing in parks and beaches and libraries.
Everywhere,
on the top of mailboxes.
They danced in my living room. That show was that's a crazy intimate show.
But you're now winding down, and you've got a big
finale
farewell 2019 event coming up.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, so the Queensboro Dance Festival is an annual tour, and we actually tour for 6 months out of the year, May through October. And this year we've had 26 shows. We presented 33 different dance companies, all from Queens.
Nice.
So we are dedicated to providing a platform for Queens dance companies of all cultures and styles to come together and share their works with as many different Queens neighborhoods and communities as we can. So we've got only 2 weeks left in our season. This Thursday, we're going to be in Athens Square, 7 o'clock. Athens Square is a really cool park. It'll be our first time there.
Astoria.
Yeah.
Right. There's
it's the top 50 neighborhoods in the world.
Oh yeah, one of the coolest neighborhoods in the world.
Yeah.
That the park also has a Socrates sculpture. Mm-hmm. It has a replica of the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Not the Colosseum.
No.
That's the Roman Colosseum. This would be the Grand Pantheon.
Yeah.
And it has a couple of
Athena.
There's an Athena there. So you're going to be dancing with Athena. And,
yes. Yep. And so they usually have Greek nights on Tuesdays. They've had Italian nights on Wednesdays all summer. And Thursday nights have been dedicated to Latin night, and we're actually going to be their last Latin night this Thursday.
Nice.
So we're mixing up the flavor a little bit, so lots of different takes from the Latin culture. So we'll have 6 different dance companies there representing Venezuela, Ecuador. There's going to be a little bit of fusion. And then we are closing that show with a live set from Astoria-based band Os Clavelitos. They do Brazilian samba jazz.
Oh,
very cool.
Brazilian samba.
Please, I just hope the forbidden dance will not be done, because it is forbidden.
You just have to come and find out.
Right.
It kind of depends on how the night goes, but we're excited to be there.
So 6 dance troops. That's hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's Thursday. So that's a 2-hour program, including the live music.
Okay.
And then 2 days later, on the 28th. We have partnered with Queens Museum to do performances in Corona Plaza. And we're part of the Hispanic Heritage Month celebration that they're putting up in Corona Plaza. So we're very excited for that.
That's Saturday. That's Saturday. That's Saturday. Yeah. Corona. So Queens Museum.
Plaza?
Corona Plaza.
Corona Plaza.
Yeah.
The Queens Museum does, I think, every month they do a big day-long celebration in Corona Plaza, and they usually have themes. And I guess this one it's dance, so there are going to be people dancing all day.
Yep.
There are also workshops, everything for kids and stuff like that.
Yeah, food, music. I believe the whole afternoon is 1 to 5 o'clock, but the Queensboro Dance Festival slot is 2 to 3:30, and we'll also be doing free dance classes and demonstrations as well. So
okay, and who's going to perform?
It's a whole different lineup. So every show is a different lineup. Unfortunately, that one I do not have off the top of my head, but it's always a diverse range of our companies that we've been touring all summer long. So
Corona's mostly Hispanic area.
Yes. Yeah. So what we do like to do is we do like to speak to the neighborhood, and bring a little bit of familiarity to them. But we also like to introduce we like to cross-expose cultures, cross-expose neighborhoods. So sometimes there'll be companies that actually live in that neighborhood, and sometimes we'll have companies that have been they travel to that site and they had never been to that neighborhood. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. We love cliches on this podcast. It's a win-win. Is it a win-win-win? And you have something else coming up too?
Yes, and then our big finale is next week, October 5th and 6th at Queen's Theater.
That's Saturday and Sunday too, October 5th
Saturday and Sunday. That features, if you come to those 2 shows back to back, you will essentially be able to see nearly all of the companies that have been on tour with us. So that's one more last opportunity to come check out what our tour had been about. We're doing a special closing reception on Sunday where we're going to do a little review of how our tour went. You'll get to meet and greet with all the dancers. And then there's also a Q&A with the choreographers after each show. So we field questions from the audience to try.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so they can get to know what the works were about.
So it's like an all-day event at the
on Saturday, October 5th, it's
8 o'clock show.
Yeah,
8 o'clock show.
And they usually do 8 o'clock at night at the Queen's Theater.
Yes.
And then 3 o'clock the next afternoon?
4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on the Sunday show.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah.
And you'll see a little bit of everything?
A little bit of everything. I mean, if you go to our website, QueensboroDanceFestival.com, you will see the lineups of each show. You will hope, the goal is you come out of there getting a really strong idea and an appreciation for the Queens dance companies that are creating work in the borough. And there's just so much diversity here that needs to be seen and celebrated. So.
There's diversity and talent.
And talent.
Huge talent.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Karesia. What?
I got it wrong after corrected.
Oh, well. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Karesia. Where you're a dance lover since I've seen you dance at Plaxall Gallery.
Yeah, I dance.
You're
everywhere.
a dancer yourself. You're one of those. You love dance. Something
just show
tells
up.
me that you're pro dancing.
Yeah. So I am luckily still a freelance dancer and performer.
I'm a freelance dancer too, just nobody hires me. I think that's the main difference.
Yeah, so luckily I still have time for that in addition to running the festival. And it's actually one of the reasons why I started the festival 6 years ago now was that I was a dancer, building my career and hustling and doing the whole New York thing. And I was living in Queens, and I kept finding myself leaving the borough to go take classes and auditions and rehearsals. And essentially, I had to keep leaving the borough to find my dance community. And I realized, I was like, there has to be a dance community in Queens somewhere that I just don't know how to access. And how do I meet everybody? How do we all come together? So that was why I started the festival, just to see who else was out there and what everyone's doing, and it kind of grew a life of its own.
And do you not run a dance studio too?
I don't run a dance studio.
I thought you did.
No.
Oh, okay.
We rehearsed in a lot of studios.
Oh, okay. I thought you had it. I just want to say that if memory serves,
and it doesn't.
Plaxall Gallery.
Yeah, I'm Karesia. Nice to meet you.
Ms. Batan. Plaxall Gallery, they have sculpture and art, and they had an opening or for some kind of a reception, and all of a sudden you would see Karesia dancing among the sculptures and among the portraits and stuff, right?
Yes, I swear they asked me to do that. I didn't just show up, and they just let me roam around. But yeah,
did you study dance in New York?
No, I studied dance at Boston University.
Okay.
It was actually a minor of mine, and then I majored in public relations. They didn't have a dance major there, so I put it together.
Both. Yeah,
put it together, and I decided I'm going to come to New York and try not to do the office thing, and it's worked out so far. Yeah, here I am sitting in an office.
Yeah. I'm going to drag you down into our world.
Congratulations! The sixth year is almost. It's almost part of history. What's going to come up after that?
Seventh.
So yeah, right.
7th year.
So I'll probably sleep for a day,
right?
And then I wake up and we're going to get ready for our gala. So our gala is going to be November 15th, and it is our second annual.
Nice.
And it's called Dancing with the LIC Stars. So what this is?
Will you be popping in and out of? sculptures?
I'm actually co-hosting with Brent O'Leary, fellow LIC community member, and it's actually a dance competition where we pair community members with our choreographers.
I remember
and they
Dancing
battle
with the
it out.
Stars.
Oh yeah,
Sean Spicer will be there.
It is a blast, and then we have a panel of judges who are also members of our community, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So
where's that on November 15th?
Also at Plaxall Gallery.
At Plaxall Gallery.
Yeah, Plaxall Gallery. Yeah.
All right, and then I guess you'll start thinking about next year.
We've started drafting our season for next year already. We work with a lot of.
Did the troops come to you, or you find the troops, or is it a little both?
It's an open call. Okay. So the call opens in February. And by that time, we would have spoken with all of our partner organizations. We also work with, New York City Parks Department and the DOT, organizations like Sunnyside Shines, Bayside Bid, and we present the calendar to prospective dance companies who are interested in joining us, and they send in their work and tell us when they're available, and then we put it all together.
Okay.
That's pretty
cool.
Yeah.
That's
pretty cool.
All right. Well, there you have it. I'm not going to try your name. The executive director of the Queensboro Dance Festival. Anything else you would like to say?
Her name correctly, maybe?
Yeah. Anything, would you like to phonetically?
Yeah. Maybe we can edit that in.
Anyway, it's QueensboroDanceFestival.com.
Yes.
Do you have a hashtag for social media?
QDF 2019 has been our hashtag for this season, and a whole bunch of stuff will pop up on Instagram about
and everything. Okay.
Yeah, at Queensboro Dance Festival, you'll see all of our photos and boomerangs and all that fun stuff from our whole season.
All right,
and hopefully we'll see you guys.
Speaking of which, don't forget hashtag It's in Queens if you want to find out more information about all the events we talked about in the first half.
I hashtag you guys
Some of
too,
them,
so.
yes, and we have a long. Hashtag relationship. Whatever, that's
still don't know my name, but it's all you need.
Yeah, it's not in the hashtag. All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for putting up with
us.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Thank you.
Thank
this was
you
so fun.
for putting up with us.
Yeah.
And we do hope to get you back next year
great.
When you've got the next season all ready to go.
Sure. Yeah. Oh man, 2020.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's going to be a good year for the Queensboro Dance Festival.
Remember, so quick dates: October 5th and 6th at the Queen's Theater, right?
Yes. Yep.
And those are the big ones.
And November 15th at the Dance with the LIC Stars.
At Gala, yeah.
All right.
All right. Thank you very much.